Let's just start the fucking thing. Happy, I don't even know. Is it Sunday? Is it Tuesday? Is it April? Is it fucking December? Is it Easter? Let's throw out a random holiday. Could it be Easter? No, it's Easter. I didn't know. That's how every day is just exactly the same. I'm on the road, off the road, in a hotel room, in an apartment, in a comedy club, in a music venue, in a small fucking theater, in a fucking podcast studio. Here we are. I had no idea I was traveling. I went to Florida. I had no concept of what weekend it was. I'm like, why are the fucking airports why are there so many families? Why is that person carrying a basket of multicolored eggs? And I still didn't put it together. I'm in a haze right now. I don't even know what I think I'm depressed. I've been looking for a new therapist, and funny thing about New York is you have to be a trillionaire to get a therapist. They'll be like, oh yeah, we're in network, or we do sliding scale, and then you reach out to like a few of them, and I have like semi-okay insurance, and every fucking place you reach out, they're like, actually, you're out of our network. Our network is for financial tech bros and Saudi oil billionaires. Yeah. But if you want to fork over $5,000 a session, each session's 10 minutes long, we can make something work. We'll have our secretary forward you the layout of our pricing plans and our scheduling. And that email, by the way, is going to cost $4,000. And if you don't pay it, we will hunt you down and kill your family. I don't even know what to do, man. I don't. But I need to get back. I finally switched psychiatrists like a few months ago from the most anal retentive, like everything has to be exactly by the book. If you're a minute late, I won't be able to reschedule, and I'll charge you anyway. That kind of thing. It's fucking worst. Also asked too many things about my job and like maybe you could try and shoot this video or do that, or I'm like, I don't need you to tell me how to be in the entertainment industry, lady. I don't know. I was more annoying to talk to her than anything. And it was supposed to more just be like you check in just to make sure the meds are fine and then you get a refill. But she liked to mix in a little therapy. And I was like, how about you mix in nothing? How about you mix in some questions and then mix in a fucking see you next month? Couldn't just be that. So had to fucking hit the bricks, lady. And then I got probably the exact opposite of that kind of psychiatrist. A no-nonsense, fucking serious Polish dude with a Polish secretary who is such a fucking bitch. I mean, she's hung up on me 2-3 times, I think. I mean, like, it's crazy. I don't know what to tell you. Goodbye. Once I didn't even get a goodbye. She's like, this is the appointment. You don't make, I don't have. Click. What? I called the guy back and told him, like, your secretary hung up on me. He's like, this is what you do. Okay. But weirdly, I'd still rather have that duo, the fucking asshole duo, who almost has no time for me as a patient, than the lady who would overtalk, over opinionate, if that's a word, and fucking overcharge. Unreal. Oh. So anyway, I can't hear myself. Hold on. Sorry. I need to know how fucking loud and annoying I'm being. This is good. This is good when this happens with this stupid fucking mic cord. That's my favorite. That's how I handle my anger now. When I was younger, I used to just be angry and just all the time. And then I went through a phase of like, I thought I was managing my anger. I thought I was like, I'm getting it under control. I'm learning to process things and be more patient. But it turned out what I was actually doing was saying the opposite of how I feel in an angry tone. So like this mic cord doesn't work. Instead of being like, fucking mic cords, stupid fucking techno, fuck all this shit. And then like, throw something off my table or punch my desk. I would do what I just did. I would be like, oh, I love this. I love that when this is my favorite. This is what I want to happen every time. And then like when I had road rage, when I would be in LA, I'd be like, yeah, no, I want you to get in front of me, drive 4 miles an hour. That's what I want. And I thought that was managing my anger. It wasn't. And now I just kind of do that to be funny because I know how ridiculous it was. I don't know. It's all fucking, we're working it out 1 minute at a time. The clock's ticking, man. I'm going to be 40 in 10 days. Oh, dude. It's the worst. These things shouldn't matter, but they feel like they do, I've probably talked about this before, but guess what? I'm going to talk about it again. So I find that I overthink stuff like that, but it's still like, those markers start making you think of this stuff, like a birthday, the New Year's Eve or day, all these things that are like another year has passed. It's not working out. When do I just walk into the ocean? So yeah, I don't know, man. You're doing what you want to do. You're quote unquote living your dream that more often than not feels like a nightmare. What do? I didn't think I'd be where I am at almost 40, to be honest. But I've always thought in extremes. I always thought I would be super rich and super successful or super dead. There was no middle ground. There was no gray area. And that might be the problem. This might be why I need a therapist, so I can talk this stuff out. But that's what podcasts are for in the meantime. There's no copay there. There's no in or out of network. The network's YouTube. But yeah, it feels, I don't know if you've just turned 40 or you're 50 or whatever. Maybe you felt this way. And I'm interested to know, like, I meet a lot of people in my travels that always are like, man, you're doing it because you followed your dream when you had it. And then, I look into their eyes and they're like, they did something else and they never knew what it would have been like to pursue, TV writing or music or whatever dreams are these days. There's probably a 30-year-old now that's like, I should have started a YouTube channel. I should have been an influencer, which really is probably, of all the dreams to have and pursue, these ones are the most accessible. You can do those in your spare time with no money or you don't need to move to LA or buy a bunch of instruments and you could just have a regular, I mean, I have a better camera now, but like you could just have your webcam and just start fucking talking. Anyway, sidetrack. Yeah, I feel like when I talk to those people, it makes me feel better. And not because I feel, bad for them or whatever. A lot of them seem happy and fine, but they have that moment where they go, oh, that's what it could have been like, I'd be visiting a city doing a show at a mediocre comedy club or whatever. Um, and I kind of do that with them, and I go, man, that's what it would have been like if I never tried this. But now I'm at the age where I feel like a version of that, which sucks because I did try it. I am doing it. I hit the ground running when I was a fucking teenager, and I went for it, and it still feels like it didn't work. You know, what can you do? Um, I guess there's 40 more years after this if I decide to have it. But yeah, it's just one of those birthdays, man. 30 was like that, I think, but I was like I just gotten sober then, and I still felt like bummed out about it, but I still felt like I just narrowly escaped something way worse. So, I don't know. I don't have anything to get sober from now though. I got rid of everything. Maybe I'll quit coffee and be like, I narrowly escaped nothing. Uh I don't know, man, but I'm happy to be on the road doing the only thing I've ever wanted to do, really. And that's the other thing that makes it feel extra like, this is all I know. I mean, I could do other stuff. I could fucking, you know, but I just, wow, there's nothing else. I don't know. But it's a weird feeling, getting to an age where like you've always looked forward and been like, I'm going to be at a certain, I'm going to achieve or have done. So I guess those people I talked to never tried it. So in a way, they're just like, they still have that sort of, the dream is still alive, as where I don't know if I have any left. The one dream I have is fucking who knows what it is. Who knows what it is? Every day it feels like something different. Every day I'm like, I'm grateful to be here. I've, done more than had I never done it, or done more than a lot of people who started on the same day and quit or are around but haven't accomplished or done anything. And other days it just feels like it doesn't matter. It just, I don't care anymore, because what can you do? And then tomorrow I might feel the opposite, and that's the reality of this, man. Unless you get lucky and you make it in, you fucking hit it big, all your fucking problems and worries are from day one are gone. You got millions of dollars, you got a couple of homes, couple of cars, you take care of your family and all this. But even those people still are like, I want, they want more or whatever. Maybe their dreams are even bigger, but that's the nature of this thing. You get into something like this, and these are the things, dude. And the upside is you do get to make your own decisions. You do get to work for yourself, and I'm of a generation now that is complaining that they bought into the system. They have all kinds of college debt. They worked for X and they got a job at Y, and then they wanted Z, and it just is like they got laid off. The recession fucked them over. Then COVID, and then now their life savings are gone. They can't get a job, or they can't ever buy a home, or all that stuff. So in a way, like, I'm in the same boat as a lot of people who took the safe route, but are same problems, Probably speaks to a bigger societal issue that I don't have the kind of knowledge to speak upon broadly, or even specifically, I guess. But I'm just glad I'm here, I guess, because you look back at all the times where you're like, I could just disappear. I could just fucking shut it all down, sell all my shit, and fucking go. But can you now? Can you do that now? Can you just be like, I'm getting rid of all my shit and I'm fucking gonna leave. Like the end of Dark Knight Rises, where Alfred's sitting at the cafe and he like looks over and sees that, spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen Dark Knight Rises, you're a fucking idiot. It's too late. He looks over and sees that Bruce Wayne, the richest person on the fucking planet, one of the most famous people ever, is just sitting in a crowded cafe somewhere in Italy and no one knows. Okay. But anyway, the whole point is he disappeared. He left the Batman thing behind. He left the Bruce Wayne thing behind, and he just started a new life. You can't do that now, billionaire, millionaire, or regular guy, because there are fucking cameras everywhere. Some asshole doing a fucking TikTok video with that diner's gonna be like, made it to Italy, fucking hanging out and having some pasta, and then they post their thing and go and then make a stupid fucking duck face or whatever. And then some other assholes watching that because they fucking follow the TikTok person because they're living a life of travels and they don't get to, and they're just like sitting in a fucking office going like, why am I doing this still? Life sucks. And then they see, what they see behind the screen right there, behind that girl doing a fucking duck face. They say, you starting your new life. They go, hey, isn't that Nick Youssef guy that just disappeared off the face of the earth? Hey, look, right next to him is Bruce Wayne, the richest, most famous person. Are they together? Are they having lunch? Comparing notes on disappearing? I don't know. My headphone the plug just popped out of my headphone again, which I love. My favorite thing. I don't know, dude. I don't know. And that's all you can ultimately say with any amount of confidence is, I don't know. I love and I don't know, man. I love and I don't know because I don't know. And there are so many people that just hit fucking record and just start, let me tell you what I fucking know. Okay, let me listen. Those are the most boring of any show. Guy who doesn't know anything, girl, person, whatever, just blabbing on as if they're experts. We have experts. I just go to them. I don't go to the fucking some dickhead who fucking has no real information or expertise. Jesus. My expertise is barely on me. I'll talk about my experiences, and I barely have those fucking handled. All I know is I don't know. You know what I do know is hard segue, by the way. Hard segue from depressed, turning 40, disappear off the planet to how good was that Spence Ugas fight last night? Fuck. Another spoiler alert, by the way. This happened last night. So if you taped it or are still looking for a pirated site to watch it on, Spence won by decision. By TKO. I thought he would win by decision. I didn't think he would knock Ugas out. But, dude, he blew his eye out. That thing looked like a fucking sideways pussy. Did you see that? Dude, it turns out he broke his orbital bone, but his eye just went and just fucking puffed up. Couldn't see out of it. They stopped the fight twice so the doctor could look. And by round 10, doctor's like, nope, this guy's got sideways pussy face. Fight's got to stop. And Spence won. He's great. I've come around a lot more on Spence. I thought, at first I was like, he's obviously great. I'm more of like a Crawford guy. And I only say that because everyone's been wanting him to fight for years. But you hear the same thing about both of them, and they're both these elite level fighters. But everyone's like, they fought nobody, or they're overhyped, or one's ducking the other. They're both ducking each other. But Spence is great, and he came back from that fucking car accident that almost killed him, and then he had some kind of eye surgery, broke his fucking eye. I don't know what happened. Keeps getting better, and he really handed it to Ugas or Ugas. I'm sorry, whatever way. who's good. Beat Pacquiao, retired Pacquiao, basically. Um, it was a good fight. And then my favorite is at the end. They go, all right, you got the 3 belts. There's 1 left. Who do you want next? And he actually said the words, I want Crawford next. I'm coming for him. It's going to happen. You have my belt. Hold on to it. I'm coming to get it. Crawford's like, no, you have my belts. You hold on to those. I'm coming to get those. And each of them was like, no, we have each other's belts. Let's meet in a ring and fight for the belts. And then one of us will take the belts, and all of the belts will be to one of us, and they'll be warm with the one person who wins. Um, I wouldn't even. I have to really think about who would win that. There's no way either guy wins by knockout. I don't see that happening. I see a split decision win for one of them, or even a fucking draw. Odds are, knowing boxing, it's going to be a draw no matter what. Crawford like literally knocks Spence's head off, and then Spence puts it back on, and fucking they go, well, it's a draw because we've never had to face this, like a head coming off, so we're just gonna call it a draw and do it over, because this is the first time a head's actually come off a body, and there's no rule for that in boxing, because he put it back on, he's still up, he never fell, his head fell, he never hit the mat. Basically any way to create a fucking trilogy, which I'd be fine for. Here's the deal. Like the Spence Ugas fight, I didn't have a fucking, what is it, a horse in the race or whatever. I just wanted to watch a great fight. That's it. Fury Wilder, I didn't really have, like, I love Fury. I think he's one of the greatest heavyweights. He fights like a welterweight. He moves, he fucking dances, his head movement. He's great, and he keeps getting better. And Wilder has that fucking eliminator, eraser arm. It was, that was a Styles makes fights fight. And all 3 of them were great. And, I ended up favoring Fury more because Wilder was just like handling the losses and he just wasn't handling it well. And that sort of turns you off from a fighter, because the one thing boxing really has going for it is the sportsmanship, man. Everyone's hugging at the end. The coaches and trainer, they're all going to each other's corner going, good fight, no matter what happened, even if they vehemently disagree with the outcome or a ref's decision or anything. It just is, it's the ultimate finish to any fight when you know that they are fine with each other, because it's about boxing. It's not about them ultimately. And they're showing the ultimate respect to the art and the science and the sport of it all. And that's what made the fight last night so great. You're like, this could go either way. It really can. Ugas had Spence rocked for a minute in round 6 during the mouthpiece thing, which, if he didn't lose his mouthpiece and kind of look over, who knows? But Spence himself said, like, that was a rookie mistake. And, sometimes rookie mistakes are what causes a fight to turn around. You just kind of don't really see it. You got to be fucking perfect the whole fight when it's like your elite level guys like that. But it was awesome. I'll probably watch it again. But I want fucking Crawford Spence to happen this year. I hope it happens this year. And I don't know. I honestly don't know, because I like Spence more and more. I've always thought Crawford was great. His fights are really fun to watch, and he's got a great attitude. He's got a great, there's just something about him, But they're both really good, and I just want the fight to happen. I just want to watch it and just be like, ooh, and I'll probably feel great no matter who wins, even if it's a draw, even if it's an unfair draw. Because it'll be one of the few fights where you're like, this is the one we all want. This is not just some fucking tune-up fight for a guy who's ducking the guy we want him to fight. It's actually going to happen. God, it's going to be great. Anyway, that was a good night of boxing. The Isaac Cruz undercard was really good. That was a fun one. The Pitbull, they call him. He's great. But yeah, man, there's a lot of good fights in boxing. I think because all those, that COVID layoff. I mean, some fighters fought, but it was good for the year after the lockdown because everyone just came out just fucking ready, like put me in the ring, let's go. I gotta get a new cord. I gotta get a new cord. I'm going to take these fucking headphones and just fucking break them in half. I need this podcast to start making more money so I can hire a producer and not have to deal with this anymore. All these things that I got to pay attention, that can't just let me focus on what I want to focus on. Anyway, do we have, whoops. Okay. So that's that, man. That's all I want from boxing right now is just give us the fucking fights that we want. We gotta do our segment. Bobby, that's an old photo. I have so many of these photos. So it's our most popular segment. I haven't done it in a while, but people love it. Bobby, and here we go. Sorry. There it is. This one was sent in by Tori, which is one of those names where I don't know, is that a guy or a girl? But in a way you can't tell if this is a guy or a girl in this photo. But Tori sent this in, and I got it a few weeks ago, and I was just like, I don't want to do this segment for a little while. I just have other things to talk about. But this one was just funny, and I came across it in the folder, and I was like, oh, yeah, we should do this. Let's play the song again. Bobby, and that's it. That's how dumb Bobby looks all the time. And I have 60 of these just waiting to use. Yeah, people send them in and keep sending them in, by the way, because sometimes I just will pick at random and I'll go, that's the photo we're using for this. But anyway, thank you for that, Tori. Tori's probably a girl, right? It's not. There's no Tories that are a guy. There's Tony could be a guy or a girl. Tony or Y. There's been a few Tony Braxton. But Tori's probably a girl. You think in the future, like, all names would just be gender neutral? That would go a long way, right? It would. All names should just end in I. And just, we're done with it then. No one will be like, oh, is that because we're just so not going to know anymore that it'll just eliminate the question, because really, who cares? And we'll just stop asking it. Like my name, Nick, you could throw a fucking I or a Y. When I was a kid, people called me Nicky. Because when you're a kid, it doesn't matter. Where it's like, hey, Nicky. And then once we hit puberty and it was more about being a fucking guy, Nicky was like, you have a girl's name. And I was like, no one ever call me Nicky again. That's at the end of Nicky forever. But like right before I popped my first little hair and got a zit, I was like, yeah, Nick was no big deal. So look, thank you for the submission for the Bobby Looks So Dumb segment. Let's get into the last thing I wanted to talk about, because these just got back. Or I did say, what did I title this thing? Something about being in Florida. I was going to talk about being in Florida, and I'm not going to make fun of it because we've heard a million of those fucking Florida's insane jokes. But honestly, I like Tampa, and this was the first time I went to St. Petersburg, St. Pete as they call it. Cool. I'd go back. It's just the right amount of like weird and uncomfortable. You know, it's more diverse than you think. My favorite, my favorite was the flight there. The whole flight looked like the whole flight was this because Florida has a few things that a few types of the demographics are a few types, and my flight had two solid demographics. It was Jewish people and then people who looked like they hated Jewish people. It was incredible. It was incredible. Um, when I got to St. Pete, I was like, oh, yeah, it's like more diverse than I would have imagined Florida being. Um, I was in like the arts district, and I haven't experienced this in other southern towns, but they have like a healthy LGBTQIA community down there, and it's so Florida of this to be this way. But the gay dudes, their style is they look like a guy that would hate gay guys. Like a Floridian guy who would hate. They look like kind of rednecky, and you're like, wait, hold on, what's? And then they're like these like super fucking friendly, progressive, and you're like, oh yeah, cool. They like adopted the style around them, and they were like, we'll just take that and turn it against you, and it's cool. That'd be my style. That would be mine. I wouldn't do like the West Hollywood, San Francisco kind of look. I would do the fucking like NASCAR asymmetrical haircut, jean shorts, fucking weird piercings, just like rough looking, you know? Like the fucking crazy tiger guy. That kind of gay. He was like they look like I love it. It's a cool look. But there's a lot of good vintage. There's like the look of St. Pete I like. It's very like grungy, cocaine-y, 80s, 90s. A lot of like pinks and turquoises, but just like sun-beaten, you know? There's a lot of like vacationing down there and stuff. It was cool. It was cooler than I thought it would be. But anyway, enough about that. I'm trying to take a stance on Florida comedically, like I took on Canada, where it's like I'm just not gonna make fun of it. It's the same fucking jokes. Everybody has the same jokes about Canada, the Florida, the same jokes. And honestly, I like a lot of shit out of Canada, and I like a lot of stuff out of Florida. So I'm like, I'm not being true to my actual feelings on Florida or Canada. So I'm like, that's it. You know, there's no more jokes about it. Just say something good about it or make fun of a separate part of it that's not the same thing over and over. Anyway, speaking of not the same thing over and over, I took a ceramics class. My girlfriend and I took a ceramics class. Hers came out great. No surprise there. Mine looked like someone was given a frontal lobotomy and then put at a wheel throwing table. And then they were given clay and they were all, and then they had to make this thing. It's all, look at how like wobbly. Look, this is not at all. What is this? The glaze, I think, came out good. I don't know what the fucking, this little, that's like a slit in the middle. I didn't do that. Maybe that's just the glaze being glazed and I did it wrong. But anyway, I used the blue glaze, and then all the kind of charcoal thing was splatter. I decided I took like the brush and just like splattered it on to just give it that. So I wanted it to look intentional, and I think it did. It still sucks. It's not good. But you know what's worse is the other thing I did. Hold on. I put a cactus in it. Did my headphone come unplugged again? Is what you're gonna ask, and the answer is yes. Fucking piece of shit. All right. Oh, just I need more Patreon subscribers so I can get a producer and be done with this part of it. That's what I'm putting out there. That's what I want for my 40th birthday. Is more Patreon subscribers. I have some, and I'm grateful for you. I love you guys. I just need more of you. Look at this. Abomination. And I'll show it to you because, whatever. I am not good at this, but I will keep trying and I will get good. Look at this shit. Look at this. What is... It doesn't match that. Gunmetal gray on the inside. Kind of fucked up there. I don't know what that's all about. They put your name in it for you. Look, here's the deal. I like the color. That like softish kind of... It's like one of those pinks I was saying is you see in Florida. It's like... And then the pink and gray, I love that combo. So what I'm doing with it, so I don't have to look at my failures, is I'm just putting this cactus in it and then putting it way up here so I don't have to see it. No, that's not true. I will look at it because it'll remind me of what not to do next. This one I don't know what to do with. And the whole point is basically Seth Rogen, I'm coming for you, bro. I'm making pottery. I'm doing ceramics now. And I'm coming after your world of fucking wheel throwing. No, I actually like Seth Rogen's ceramics. I did that when I had that newsletter for a bit. I recommended his among the few other ones that I liked. I'm no expert at fucking judging and critiquing any of this stuff. You just, it's like I like what I like. But anyway, I was like, I want to do this. It looks like it would be fun, like the idea of making something physical as opposed to like writing down jokes and telling them on stage or writing essays and articles, and it's all online. I'm like, I want to make a thing, and I did. And I don't know what I'm gonna put in it. Can I pour some of this coffee into it and drink out of it? We're not going to know because that would be a horrible idea if I did that just now. Again, I don't have enough Patreon subscribers to take a risk like that and destroy my computer. I was going to say something else that had nothing to do with any of that. Oh, yeah. So my buddy, JF Harris, who is a comedian in L.A., we used to do a new no material night, which I guess would be crowd work or improv. We used to do a new material night at the Comedy Store. He's putting out a special. It comes out this week. He's going to come on the podcast. I never have guests on this. I've had a few. But I'm going to have him on, and we're going to talk about the filming of it. He filmed it down in Florida at the place I just played on Friday night. Fucking rad venue. So he taped a special there a number of months back, and it's coming out this week on YouTube. So he's going to come on, and we're going to talk about that and vinyl and coffee. We have like a lot in common. Is why we became fast friends. And he's from here originally, New York, and he lives out in LA. So that'll be a fun one. We're going to maybe, I don't know, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever he wants, really. He wants to plug the special, and I'm happy to help a friend who deserves success. What else, you guys? I'm going to see Wilco tonight. Josh Gondelman came through with the tickets. Didn't come through. He couldn't go, so I took the tickets off of him. I had no idea. This is the age I'm at right now. I don't know when concerts are happening. I find out the day after or moments before. And I think it's a good thing. It's like, it's a sign of you're growing up. You have other things to do than just fucking finding out when shows are and planning your whole life around. Like, I didn't know Coachella was happening until day one. I saw something online. Day one of Coachella's today. I'm like, it is? And I was like, hey, yeah. Nick, you had no idea because you're busy. Yes. I used to fucking like obsessively look up when is the announcement for when's the lineup release, what day will how am I getting. And the last couple, I know they didn't have it last year, the year before, but fuck, I didn't even know when the lineup was released. I didn't know anything about it. Fuck. That's the new Coachella. Don't know Cella. One of the dumbest things I've ever said. Listen, I'm going to go. Got to get ready for this concert. Got to walk the dog. Got to probably make another cup of coffee. Thanks for being here. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. Enjoy whatever the fuck it is people do on Easter. I don't know what I think we had lunch. Ate some Lebanese Easter-themed baked good or something. That was it. We're Christians. We weren't a big Easter family, I guess. But regardless, here's my Easter gift to you. Here's my Easter gift for you. Bobby, that's it. Happy Easter. Bobby,
it's the end of the show. Like, subscribe, and comment. Don't be a dick.